You think a scam is some guy in a dark alley, collar popped, whispering sweet nonsense while he picks your pocket. That's the movie version. Real life don't work like that. The real scams walk in the front door, shake your hand, look you in the eye, and talk like they belong there. That's the part people miss. A scam isn't loud at first. It's calm. It's confident. It sounds reasonable. And that's why it works. See, the best scams don't start with a lie. They start with something true, a familiar logo, a professional tone, a story that makes sense, just enough to lower your guard. They borrow credibility like a stolen suit. Doesn't belong to them, but it fits well enough that nobody questions it. They don't rush you into believing them right away. They let you get comfortable. They let you feel smart for listening. That's how the hook gets set. People think if something looks polished, it must be legit. Clean website, official language, maybe even a badge or a title thrown in for good measure. Authority is a powerful thing. You hear the right words in the right order, and suddenly you stop asking questions. That's dangerous, because scams don't survive on stupidity. They survive on trust, on routine, on the fact that most people are busy and don't expect to be played. Another mistake people make is thinking scams are all about money right out of the gate. Not true. Sometimes the first thing they take is your attention. Your time. You want to know the funny thing about scams? They all think they're clever, but they all leave fingerprints, every single one. I don't care how polished the pitch sounds or how nice the suit looks, there are patterns that never change. The biggest giveaway is pressure. Real opportunities don't rush you. Only bad deals make you feel like the clock is about to explode. When someone says, you got to do this right now or it's gone forever, that's not urgency, that's manipulation. They're trying to shut down your thinking before your instincts kick in. Another one is guarantees. Anybody promising you guaranteed money, guaranteed results, or guaranteed success is already lying to your face. Life doesn't work that way. Business doesn't work that way. Even the best plans come with risk, and anyone who's been around the block knows that. So when someone tells you there's no downside, what they're really saying is they don't want you looking for it. Then there's secrecy. Don't tell anyone about this. This is just between us. Other people wouldn't understand. That's not exclusivity, that's isolation. Scammers don't want witnesses, and they definitely don't want someone smarter than you hearing the story and poking holes in it. The moment someone discourages you from getting a second opinion, your alarm bell should be screaming. Watch how they react to questions. Honest people expect questions. They welcome them. Scammers get irritated, defensive, or they start talking in circles. They'll drown. People always say, how could anyone fall for that? Like there's some intelligence test you fail the moment you get scammed. Let me tell you something straight. Scams don't work because people are dumb. They work because people are human. And if you're human, you've got emotions, pressures, dreams, fears, bills, pride, and moments where you want to believe something is real, just long enough to say yes. That's what the scammer counts on, not your IQ, your heartbeat. I've watched sharp people, street smart people, people who could read a room in 2 seconds still get played. Why? Because the scam didn't come at them sideways. It came right at something personal. Fear is a big one. Someone tells you your account's compromised, your money's gone, your reputation's on the line, and suddenly your brain goes into panic mode. When fear is driving, logic's in the trunk. You stop asking questions. You just want the problem gone. Then there's excitement. That's the other hook. A deal too good, an opportunity too perfect, a shortcut everyone else supposedly missed. When excitement hits, people rush. They don't slow down to check the details because slowing down might pop the bubble. And scammers know that. They don't want you calm. They want you thrilled or terrified. Either one works just fine. Pride plays a role too, and this one's dangerous. Nobody wants to admit they want to know the real danger. It's not some guy in a dark alley whispering deals. That's too easy to spot. The real scams walk right into your daily life like they belong there. They show up on your phone, in your inbox, on your screen, dress up like opportunity, charity, friendship, or help. And that's why they work. People let their guard down where they feel comfortable. They're scrolling, relaxing, laughing, trusting. That's when the hook gets set. Online is the biggest playground for this stuff, social media especially. You see a post, I made 6 figures in 6 weeks, or only 5 spots left, or I don't usually do this, but I want to help you. Sounds friendly, sounds personal, but let me tell you something. Real success doesn't beg strangers in the comments. Real money doesn't need to shout. If someone's flashing results without showing the work, without answering real questions? That's a performance, not a business. And performances are designed to distract you while they reach into your pocket. Then you've got the fake giveaways. Free phones, free cash, free trips. All you got to do is click a link, fill out a form, send a code. You think you're winning something, but what you're really giving away is access, your info, your account, your identity. And once that door opens, it doesn't close easy. The damage doesn't always show up right away either. That's the worst part. You don't feel robbed until weeks later, when it's too late to trace the hand that did it. Even school and work aren't off limits. Fake scholarships, fake internships, fake job offers promising fast money and flexible hours. They target ambition. They target people trying to do better. And that's cold, but it's effective. They'll ask for application fees, background checks, training costs, small amounts at first. That's how they test you. If you pay once, they know you'll pay again. Scams don't start big, they grow. Charities are another favorite angle, a sad story, a crisis, a countdown clock telling you time's running out. And look, helping people is a good thing, but real charities don't pressure you, don't guilt you, and don't hide where the money goes. When emotion replaces transparency, that's when you stop asking questions, and that's exactly what they want. And don't think this only happens online. Text messages, phone calls, even people you think you know. Accounts get hacked. Voices get faked. A message comes in saying, I need help. Right, you got to understand something. Spotting a scam isn't about being paranoid. It's about being disciplined. It's about slowing down when everyone else is rushing. And that right there separates the people who get taken from the people who don't. The world's loud, everybody's selling something, everybody's got a story, and most of those stories are dressed up to move you emotionally before you ever get a chance to think. That's where people lose. They don't lose because they're dumb. They lose because they let the moment rush them. Thinking like a detective starts with one simple rule: nothing urgent is ever clean. The minute someone tells you act now or lose everything, that's your cue to lean back, not forward. Pressure is a weapon. Real opportunities don't need to shove you into a corner. Real business doesn't panic you. Scams live on panic because panic shuts off logic. So when the heat gets turned up, that's when you cool down. You pause, you breathe, you buy yourself time because time exposes lies. Then you ask questions, real ones. Not the soft questions they expect, but the uncomfortable ones. Where did this come from? Who benefits if I say yes? Why is this deal only for me? Right now and nobody else. Scammers hate questions because questions force consistency, and consistency is hard to fake. They'll dodge, deflect, flatter you, or try to make you feel stupid for even asking. That's another tell. Anyone who gets offended by basic verification was never offering you something solid in the first place. You also learn to separate confidence from credibility. A smooth voice, a sharp suit, a clean website, that's packaging. Anybody can buy packaging. Credibility shows up in details that can be checked, sources that exist outside the story they're telling, and information that doesn't fall apart when you look at it twice. A detective doesn't take statements at face value. He cross-checks. He looks for patterns. He asks himself whether the story cares sense when you strip away the emotion and don't ignore your instincts. People talk themselves out of their gut all the time because they don't want to seem rude or suspicious or negative. That's how they get clipped. If something feels off, there's a reason. You might not be able to explain it right away, but your instincts are picking up on cracks your brain hasn't lined up yet. Respect that feeling. You don't owe anybody trust. Trust is earned, not demanded. Most importantly, stop seeing yourself as a target and start seeing yourself as an observer. Targets react. Observers analyze. When you shift your mindset, scams lose their power because they're designed for. You got to understand something about scams. They don't live in dark alleys anymore. They don't wear masks. They don't knock on your door with a crowbar. They show up where you already are, where you already feel comfortable. Your phone, your inbox, your favorite app, your school fundraiser, your social feed. That's how they get you. They blend in. They look normal. That's the trick. People think scams are some rare thing like lightning striking. Nah, they're everywhere because they follow attention. Wherever people are looking, that's where the scams set up shop. Online shopping, fake stores, social media, fake giveaways and fake influencers. Emails, fake banks, fake jobs, fake emergencies. Even schools and community events get hit with fake charities and bogus sign-ups. The scam doesn't look dangerous because it's wearing a friendly face. And here's the part that catches people off guard. Scams don't always ask for money right away. Sometimes they just want your time. Sometimes they want your trust. A click, a reply, a little piece of information. They build it slow, like a guy shaking your hand a few times before asking for a favor. By the time the real ask comes, you don't even feel like you're being robbed. You feel like you're participating. Social media made this a goldmine. Someone posts a flashy lifestyle, rented cars, borrowed success, and suddenly they're selling secrets. They talk like they're doing you a favor. I don't usually share this. I want to help people win. That's not generosity. That's bait. Real opportunities don't need countdown timers or comment sections filled with fake praise. If it feels like a performance, it probably is. Then there's the everyday stuff that slips past your guard. A message saying you won a prize you never entered for. A warning that your account is about to be locked unless you act now. A job offer that sounds too easy for the money they're promising. These scams work because they hit you when you're busy, distracted, or tired. They count on you not slowing down. Speed is their best friend. Even places you trust can be used against you. Scammers copy logos, names, emails, and voices. They don't break in. They impersonate. They rely on familiarity. You see something that looks official, sounds official, and you don't question it because you've seen it before. That's the danger. Trust, once earned, becomes a weapon when it's faked well enough. The biggest mistake people make is thinking, "I'd never fall for that." That's exactly who scams are waiting for. Confidence without caution is expensive. The smarter move is staying curious, staying skeptical, and staying alert no matter where you are. Because scams don't care if you're young or old, broke or successful, they just care that you're human. If you can learn to spot a scam in the places you least expect it, you're already ahead of the game.